checked with the other lakes that had same properties and same position, and theirs was more than that, so I mean, it just, and it'd been years since it been right. Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting of the Sweetwater City Council to order. Ask Daniel Norton with Lamar Street Baptist Church to give the invocation this morning, and then following the invocation, we'll have Commissioner Castro lead us in the pledges.
Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for your wisdom and your guidance. We thank you for this group of people and leaders that you have put here to make plans and decisions for our city. And we pray that they would direct with that wisdom and guidance that you give, Jesus. Bless us in all of our endeavors. We pray all these things in your name. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll now move to item 4, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of minutes for meeting held on December 10th, 2019 and December the 20th, 2019.
Move they be approved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 5 is for public input. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak? Pretty quiet bunch. We'll now hear from Chief of Police Brian Frieda regarding the 2019 annual report. And I was only kidding about reading all of it to us.
We'd be here for a while. As required by state law, every year, no later than March 1st of the new year, we are required to provide to you the findings of our annual contact data report. Since the last couple of sessions, there's been some tweaking and some modifications, and now we have a lot of things that are caused to be done by the Sandra Bland Act. And so if you were to go back and look at our numbers for the previous years and then you see the numbers this year, you would see that the numbers are drastically higher in various areas because we're having to collect yet more data than ever before. And not only that, we are now required to do no fewer than 4 audits a year on how we collect the data. Are we watching the videos like we're supposed to? Are we making sure that if we do receive any complaints, are we addressing the complaints? So there's a whole host of things, including some unfunded training mandates and everything else. So here we go with the annual report. Once again, I'm pleased to report to you that we had no complaints alleging racial profiling in 2019. In 2019, the police department made some 2,553 motor vehicle contacts. So we have to go by any motor vehicle contact. If we see somebody driving down the street and we know that they have a warrant and we make that traffic stop on them because we know they have a warrant, we have to collect the data because it is a motor vehicle contact. So of those, 1,137 were female, some 1,416 were male. The report goes into break it down even further by race or ethnicity. 244 black, 26 Asian or Pacific Islander, 1,413 whites, 868 Latino or Hispanic, and then we had some 2 that were either American Indian or Alaskan Native. We have to answer a question of whether the race was known prior to the stop or not. Out of that 2,500 and some odd stops, only 60 occasions we knew the race of the individual prior to being stopped. All the others, we're looking at other things. We're not looking to see who's driving the car per se by race. And so those numbers prove that right there. And we have to break down where we're making the contacts now where we didn't have to before. Is it on county road, interstate highway, city street, things like that. And the bulk of our stops, 2,479 of them were on city streets. We had a total, let's see here. Trying to make sure I get you what you need to have. We only had a total of 207 searches of motor vehicles for the whole calendar year. Of those, consensual searches were 100, and then we had, out of those, we made 93 arrests out of those contacts for arrest. And that is really pretty much the bulk of it that we did. And we did do 4 audits over the course of 2019.
Is that data ever broken down by officer specific?
No, sir, and there's a reason for that. That was brought up by Senator West from the initial development of this program. We don't want to get into breaking down, identifying and singling out individual officers and using their identifying information. It really drills down into going where it allows you to go down target. We kind of do that internally.
Sure.
Because we've implemented a program called Guardian Tracking. So we're going back and we're looking at their traffic stops, the number of searches that they're doing. We go back and we look at their videos related to different things, and we also look at their use of force issues. If they have I think it's 4 use of force encounters in less than a 2-week period, there's an early warning indicator that pops off and lets me know that, hey, we've had 4 use of force issues with this one officer. And we drill into those and see what the merit was behind that to make sure we don't have a problem. So we've taken great strides to make sure that we head off any possible issues. Anything else I can answer for you?
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll now move to item 7A, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of the quarter investment report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2019. Any questions of Patty?
I move the investment report be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. Now move on to item 7B, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of an ordinance ordering an election for the qualified voters of the city of Sweetwater to be held on May 2nd, 2020, for the purpose of electing 2 city council members, precinct 2 and 4 of said city.
I'll move the adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Now read the ordinance into the record. An ordinance of the city of Sweetwater, Texas, ordering the municipal election to be held on May 2nd, 2020 for the purpose of electing 2 city council members of said city and providing details related to the holdings of such election. Now move to item 7C, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of a resolution designating the Sweetwater Reporter as the official city newspaper for publications required by state law or the city charter.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. A resolution of the city's council of the city of Sweetwater, Texas, Nolan County, Texas, designating the Sweetwater Reporter as official newspaper for the city of Sweetwater for a 1-year term to expire on December 31st, 2020. Now move to item 7D, which is discuss, consider, and act upon reappointment of Ms. Linda Hunter and Ms. Jimmy Bender as city appointees and Mr. Buddy Aldridge as joint city-county appointee to the Sweetwater Nolan County Municipal Auditorium Board. Any questions? We have a motion?
Make a motion, we reappoint.
Second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Now move to 7E, which is discuss, consider, and act upon casting votes for the Nolan County Appraisal District Board of Directors. I think we've always done that before, in line with the Sweetwater Independent School District is what we've always done.
Okay.
Is how we've always done it before. Because we don't really have that many votes in it. Do we? Is
You
that
have
correct?
312 votes, or out of 5,000.
Yeah.
Is that the number of votes based on the amount of revenue that that particular entity brings into the coffers?
I believe that's correct.
And these 6 people listed are currently serving on the board?
With the exception of, I believe, Terry Muncy. And Sheldon, right. The other 4 are.
Okay. Since our voice is so small in this, I will move that we cast 52 votes for each individual running.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we'll do the city manager's report.
Yes, sir. I'll only take a second. Wanted to go over a couple items. The SNAP Valentine's Dance will be held Friday, February 14th on Valentine's Day. And here's a nice little graphic. If we can help spread the word around about that, that's a good program for SNAP to be involved in. And there's a lot of folks in our community that rely on SNAP's program and will attend this. Again, it's Friday, February 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the SNAP building at 1701 Elm Street. If anybody has any questions about it, they can call up to SNAP and talk to Tanya or somebody up there. And this dance will feature Texas High. Is that right, Tanya? All right, so we're working with the chamber on that, trying to get word to everybody. But like I said, if anybody has any questions, they can get with Tanya or call SNAP. They'll be glad to answer them. Here's another issue that, not issue so much as successful project that I wanted to talk to y'all about this morning. This took place last month, and this is really one of the steps, one of the most important and public steps that we will have taken up to this point to try to get that the splash pad up and running by the spring or early summer at the very latest. This part of it involved moving the military equipment and vehicles across the street, closer to the armory. And as you can see, it required a lot of manpower, a lot of vehicles. You see that big old crane in there in the middle, just to make that happen. And Russell and his crews, and we had a private company come in as well to help us take care of that. I don't know if Chief Grant Madden is flying this drone or if this is other footage that we got. But anybody else who was involved, Russell, now would be the time to point that out. Is anybody I'm leaving out at this point? And your staff? So many thanks to them. Here's some pictures that were taken that morning. If I can get this to, there it is. Well,
There you go.
my fingers are off. My fingers are off. Let's see if it works. Sorry about that. Just more pictures. You see that World War II era, I think, or is it Vietnam era aircraft down there below the crane, getting ready to get moved across the street. You see a closer picture of it. You see the helicopter as well on its way down the road, getting moved to its new home. you see the, you know, the final placement of those artifacts, which I think is a lot more visible and makes sense. It's right near the armory as you enter Newman Park. I think is a better spot for them. And so, and then coming soon is of course the Newman Park splash pad, which will be where the equipment used to be. And we're moving dirt right now, Russell. We're getting ready to get going on that so that it will be open by the spring, by the early summer at the very latest. And you'll see funding provided by the City of Sweetwater, the Sweetwater MDD as well. Jacob and Martin is our architect and project manager on that, and Vortex, of course, is the company that's constructing the splash pad. So we want to thank everybody involved in that, especially this council and the mayor and the MDD board and their staff, Russell and his staff, and everybody involved in making this, you know, getting us a step closer to making this a reality. I think that once you see the smiling faces of those little kids when we open up in April, May, it will all have been worth it. And I've said that many times, and I'll continue to say that. This is just a big project for our community, and it's going to be widely used, and people from other communities are going to come in and use it as well. So we're just very proud of everybody getting on the same page and getting one step closer to making this a reality. So with that, Mayor, that's all I have this morning.
Just one comment, judging by social media comments, the placement for the static displays was very well received. Everybody thought it was a much better location for them.
Yes, sir.
As far as visibility and just appropriateness of the new site.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now move to item 8, which is to enter into closed session pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Governmental Code, consulting with Turner, closed meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.